Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome on this beautiful Sunday morning. Welcome to Conscious Life Collective. I am Mickey Preventer. I am a co-founder of Conscious Life Collective.
And my name is Julia Bernatsky. I'm the co-founder of Conscious Life Collective. And we are here today for a few reasons. One of them, today is the last day of the full moon. It's a very powerful energy. And there's energy in the universe, there's energy of the moon that we can call forth. And there's also so much going on in the world. We all know that the world is changing. It has to change. And each one of us matter, each one of us contributing our energy to the collective. And when we can connect with awareness, when we can connect with the consciousness that contributes to the positive, this is how we, one person at a time, changing the world so that our children and our grandchildren can grow up in a world that is fair, that in a world that is equal for every human being. And today we are going to have a very special guest joining Conscious Life Collective. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
So Michael Ocher, who is a Kabbalah teacher, spiritual teacher, a wonderful person. And we are grateful and very happy to share this moment together. Michael, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Michael.
Yes. And we are in this space and this conversation. There's so much going on in the world. And how can we, each person, how can we create an awareness to see a bigger picture, to connect to the energy of the universe, to create shifts in consciousness, to help other people to be in that space as well? How can we contribute to the world of the future?
Big question. And a great question. So first of all, thank you for having me. Thank you everyone watching and joining. And you know, I think the fact that that you were asking those questions, and a person that is asking those questions, I think you are already on the right track. A person that is asking questions of how can I elevate my consciousness, how can I contribute more, how can I connect, this is already the way to connect. Because for example, you know, there's a beautiful teaching in wisdom of Kabbalah that it's good to learn to ask the right questions, how to ask the right questions. And beautiful, I'll start with something that I experienced myself last week when it started to when things started to escalate with protests, and then a group of people started looting and abusing that time, and kind of using it for their own advantage. And it was so shocking. I felt like, wow, it felt a little hopeless, and almost like, how can this situation get any better, and what's going on? And the feeling was very helpless, my personal. And usually I didn't have that before. I kind of was very clear with the pandemic of what's going on, that we're staying home, we're being quarantined, or better spiritual term is you're cocooning kind of in your house, or you're incubating and kind of growing your own positivity. And then when this hit again, it was so confusing. It was just like, wow, what's going on? So what really helped me in the beginning is asking the right questions. So what can I do more? And what is really going on? And the reason why Kabbalistically that is important is because, or spiritually, is because actually the answers already exist. The answers to the questions that we have already exist. Our job is, more importantly, to properly formulate the question. And when you formulate the question correctly, that creates the vessel, kind of the antenna to catch the answer. And to me personally, last week, what the message that I got was that, again, the message is the same and very clear, that the consciousness of humanity needs to elevate higher. The consciousness, the global collective consciousness of human race needs to keep elevating and go higher. It can't remain where it is. And then another beautiful thing that I heard from one of my colleagues yesterday, he said, it's so funny that we were in pandemic and we were told to stay home, and then it's kind of coming to an end, and then again another form of pandemic started, and again the message was to stay home, to stay inside. And just shortly, what I feel staying home is not necessarily to look at it as a punishment, but to understand that it's a time when you can grow yourself, when you can reflect, go inside, and see what it is that in my consciousness and my behavior contributes and adds to the collective, brings more positivity, and what of my behavior actually limits that energy and makes it less of positive experience for me and for others. So that was my experience.
Thank you, Michael. And when you say stay home, it doesn't mean that, I just want to clarify for myself, it doesn't mean that I have to physically stay home. The way I hear you is that I really need to connect and go inside and see and ask myself those hard questions, right? So it's not a literal stay home. It's like really just go deep in my being.
Yeah, totally. I really, for me, it's such a clear message from the universe to the human race, to humanity, meaning to each and every single one of us, that we need to invest more in our spiritual growth. We must. It's not an option. We must go inside and see what emotions, what feelings, what thought patterns are blocking you, are limiting you, are not letting you connect and access the best side of you, the best version of yourself, and actually instead are limiting your experience of life in general. And staying home definitely does not mean physically, of course. Yes, you're right. Of course, doesn't necessarily mean physically staying home. It means, again, whatever it might be for you, either journaling, either meditating, doing the tasks that you put on the side for a very long time to complete, but really to pick a spiritual system and to follow it, to dwell deeper into it. Whatever it might be, it doesn't necessarily, I personally practice the wisdom of Kabbalah, I practice theta meditations, and many other things. But again, it needs to be a time of awakening, that the most important goal of me being on this earth is nothing to do with external, nothing to do with the outside, nothing to do with the exterior, with how I physically look or how I physically experience, but all about spiritual, all about internal, all about going inside and seeing how am I doing inside? How is my soul doing? How is my consciousness doing? Am I elevating my consciousness? Am I making it closer to the laws of the universe, to what the laws of the universe are teaching me? Or am I still being stubborn? Am I still being angry? Am I still being jealous? Am I still being depressed? Am I still being victim? Am I still being blameful? To address all this consciousness and to find a way to leave this consciousness, to be free from it, and ultimately to find more and more freedom from the limiting beliefs, limiting system, limiting consciousness. And this is our main job on this earth, is that you are finding the limiting belief system, removing it, and instead implanting and installing, downloading the right consciousness. If I believe that it's all for me and I do whatever I want, then no, it doesn't matter what other people are experiencing. That's not true. That's not how the world operates. We're all one. We're all interconnected. I am responsible for myself and also the world globally. If I just point fingers and blame someone for whatever I'm experiencing in my life and not taking my own responsibility, I'm not going to be in the winning situation. That's not how the world operates. We're all one entity, one body. And the whole experience of what we're just going through and what we went through, it just to show us that, is that we are all one body, one consciousness, one entity, one being, and not separate entities. It's not me and the rest of the world and my neighbors and people in the West Side or Europe or Asia or Africa. We're all separate. No, we're all one. We're all one being. How can I connect more? How can I contribute more? And to think of things that contribute more and bring more into the collective, whatever it might be. Again, meditation is very important. Journaling is great. Studying spirituality is essential. It just, to me, it's so basic. It's such a kind of like on the front line of my to-do list always. But now I'm realizing what I experienced last week when I saw people, abusing the situation, and people that went to protest and kind of make this situation be heard and doing something so positive, and then the other side of people that just abused this situation, started looting and starting abusing and causing so much damage to the collective. So I think the main lesson for all of us is to look more inside. Look more inside. Kabbalistically, it's very beautiful that your home is an extension, an expression of your consciousness. And so the more you stay inside, the more you're able to observe what's happening inside of you, what's happening inside your soul. Just like, when somebody's not feeling well or sick or experiencing something difficult, what do? You don't just go out and party, for example, right? You're usually told, go home, rest, get better, and then go out. So this is what the universe is telling us. Stay home, get better internally, spiritually inside, and then you can go out. Then you can experience the world again like you did before.
Thank you. It sounds like we all need healing, and again, like staying home. It doesn't mean that if I'm called to go outside and kneel with a protest, it is my also turning internal and knowing that this is the action that is true to me, and that's what I am doing.
Yeah. I think it's very confusing for people, and people assume that the same group of people is doing the protest and the same group of people is causing all the rioting and damage. It's really, we have to be very clear. It's two different groups of people with two different goals. One is very selfish, one completely chaotic and selfish and all about themselves, and the other group is actually doing something positive to make sure that there's less prejudice, racism, and all this negativity in the world. So that was, I think a lot of people were like, oh, they are doing this, they are doing this. It's really not they, it's two different groups of people. I think it's very wrong for anyone to say and label anyone who's doing a protest and say that it's the same as people that are doing damage and riots.
Yes, thank you for saying that, because they have completely different agenda. We are building our world, and our world, we started with that, will not be the same, and we need to create a healthy world.
Yeah.
World of higher consciousness. We are all equal in that world. Equality is the core of it. The unity, the oneness, being
exactly.
together. We are one. If one person is killed somewhere there, part of me is killed. It's part of me. We are one. This is so powerful, Michael. Thank you so much. And then can you now bring us into the conversation about the energy of the full moon, because we wanted to align this conversation with the full moon that is still here with us, right?
For sure, yes. It's a very powerful new moon. It's very relevant to me personally because I'm a Gemini, and I'm born under a sign of Gemini, and I have a lot of Gemini in me, and I'm very connected to this sign. And yesterday I was thinking, I gave a lecture this short lecture to some students, and I was thinking, so there's the energy of Gemini and the energy of a Sagittarius. I think the moon is still in Sagittarius or Capricorn, but generally the full moon of Gemini always happens in the sign of Sagittarius, and these two signs are very interesting. Both signs are very intellectual. They're all about thinking. They're all about philosophy. They're all about learning. They're all about newness. They're all very quick. They're a lot about desire, wanting, me. And they're all about kind of the thought process, the mind, the brain. So they're very intellectual signs. Both signs are very intellectual, usually very wise people, Sag and Gemini, very wise, smart, quick-minded, witty, philosophical, etc. Everything in the thought process. So, but what both of these signs, and meaning why are we even addressing this, is that it means that if this energy exists in the universe right now, that means we're all under the influence of that energy as well, every single one of us. And what these signs, the main goal, or as we say in Kabbalah, tikkun, or their kind of goal or mission in life, specifically for those two signs, is to connect to their emotions, connect to their hearts, connect to their feelings, connect to how they are doing inside. So when we have such a strong consciousness of these two signs about philosophical mind, thought process, ideas, etc., the ultimate opportunity that we're given is to connect to our hearts, is to connect to our soul, is to connect to our emotions, is to open our hearts. And this is the main goal, I think, of a new moon, especially this one, is to open our hearts, open our emotions, open the heart chakra, whatever you want to call it, to open it to more and more love. Now, what does it mean also practically? Because it's a little bit of a slogan when you say open your heart, etc. It means to be vulnerable. It means not to hold things inside and to hold them captive, those emotions, those feelings, not to deny them. Both signs love to sweep emotions under the carpet and not to deal with them. So it's to express them, to be vulnerable, to say, you know what, yes, this is how I feel. I might be feeling great, I might be feeling not so great. Either way, it's good. We want to know there is a very special also a soul that left the world on this day today in a Kabbalistic calendar, in the full moon of sign of Gemini, and his name was Yehuda, the head of a tribe. And he was a very special human being, because it says he was one of the first person to start to look internally. There was a lot of chaos in his life that was happening, and he was experiencing a lot of, you can say, judgment and unpleasantness and chaos and discomfort in his life. But what he started to do is he started to have this process, and what he symbolizes for the Kabbalists is this process of, okay, this is happening in my life, I have to look inside. There's absolutely no one outside of me to blame. There's no one to point fingers. If this is happening, my consciousness is creating this reality, and my job, my responsibility is to look inside. It's not to blame, not to point fingers, but to look within, to look inside and to see, what do I need to change? What do practically me, Michael, or any one of us, what do I need to change in my life? And again, this is about formulating the right question, but he's here with us, for every single one of us, to help us to connect to this consciousness, to say, okay, so if I want to see change in my life, in my world, I need to look within. I need to look within, and I have to have an open heart. He was someone who symbolized, who had an open heart, meaning to open your heart to the Creator, to the universe. And that the very important side to that is understanding that as much as I'm thinking, feeling, experiencing something in a not a positive way, the root of whatever situation I'm in is positive. So to have that always in the back of our mind, doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter how helpless, how desperate, and how horrible the situation might look. At the end of the day, in the big picture of everything, it's all for the better. It's all for the good. So we have this amazing opportunity, to these two signs that help us open our heart. The special soul of Yehuda, who's also here with us today, who helps us again open our hearts and be kind of, there's a beautiful, King David has a beautiful quote. He says, open your heart and pour out the waters from within it, like from a sinister, like from a pitcher, and let everything that's in your heart out. Don't let anything in. Don't hold anything in. If there's emotions, feelings, experiencing that are inside of you, don't kind of idol worship them and think that, oh, I can never share it with anyone. Find a place, find an experience, find someone, or at least a time when you can express the pain that might be in your heart. Let it out. Don't let it in. Don't hold it in. Don't keep it as a treasure. Like some people hold on to experiences of difficult experience that they had in life and kind of hold on to them, making like, oh, like I'm not gonna share this with anyone. This is mine. Like, and I'm gonna hold it all inside of me. No, let it all out. Let it pour out like waters. Open your heart and let all the emotions, all the feeling, let them out and let them flow out of your heart. So again, it's something that's a beautiful slogan that we can say, open your heart, feel love, be open. But we need to bring it back internally and see, what does it mean practically for me? What does it mean for me to have an open heart? What does it mean for me? What experience am I looking at in my life that I'm labeling as difficult, negative, etc.? And how can I convert it? How can I change it into that this experience is actually good for me? So again, we have the rest of the day today to do this, to connect to this amazing, incredible opportunity where we can open our hearts, release the pain, release the trauma, the chaos, the difficulty, the confusion that might be in our hearts. Let it out. Either write it on a paper, call someone and express yourself. If you have someone who can listen, it's a beautiful gift to have someone who can listen to you. But really, this is the consciousness that we want to be connecting to of opening our hearts, to letting everything that's in our heart flow like the river, just letting everything out. Yulia, we can't hear you. Sorry.
I was muted. Thank you so much. It was amazing. Flow like a river. Amazing.
Yeah.
And this is what I got. I'm just going to reflect it. Here's what I wrote. These are the questions I'm asking myself today. What do I need to change? What do I need to learn? So I am supporting and I am contributing and I am creating the world of the future, the world where every person is equal, the world where we are all guided by the consciousness of unity, by the consciousness of love.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we have a few minutes left, guys, and we have a number of people with us on Facebook or YouTube. Please just ask any questions and we will try to address them, right? We have like about 5 minutes.
Definitely. Yeah.
So please ask us questions, just write a comment and we will be, Michael is here to talk to us. So it's wonderful.
I would also add, beautiful, I love the questions that you wrote. And also I would say, what is my next evolution? What is my next evolution? How can I be, we always look at guru or teachers that kind of like them for help. But I feel like it's also a time when you need to become your own teacher and your own guru and use the wisdom that is provided for you and see, okay, how can I formulate it into something that works for me? Not just to take something that is given to me and just to apply it and kind of blindly follow it, but what am I choosing to believe in? What am I choosing to commit and connect to? What is my own personal spirituality? What is my own personal path? Not to be kind of just following religiously, whatever it might be. There is some people tend to become quote unquote religious in spirituality, that they get into spirituality and become very dogmatic about it. How can you make it your own? How can I make my own evolution? And also ask, what is my next step in my evolution, spiritual and personal evolution? I think these questions are also helpful.
Definitely. Thank you, Michael. Like that's huge actually. This little pivot, this little like different angle, like how is it mine, that I'm not just become brainwashed into something, right? So how am I aligning it to my truth? Because
Exactly.
you can never be fulfilled if it's not aligned with your truth.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing some comments. Thank you for this perspective. It's so helpful. And somebody else is saying, beautiful, this perspective about this being like going inwards and healing and connecting to the questions. There's always a little bit of delay between the streaming and actual life, what people see on Facebook. So if there will be questions that are asked and we are already offline, we can probably just follow up, right, Michael? We can
Definitely.
just follow up.
100%. Definitely.
Yes.
I was also thinking, if you would want, we can read some of the meditative text, as
Yeah.
you know, if that's what you want, or we can discuss more of, there's a text Kabbalistically that connects us to the flow of the energy of the universe.
Yes.
So that's also an option. We could do that to kind of close our eyes and to ask these questions. And as we're reading this text is here, and this chant and this energy and these vibrations of these letters are here to automatically plug us into the consciousness and the soul of the universe and the flow, the stream of energy of the creator. So that's another option that we can do if you would.
People are saying, and Smith is saying meditation. I say
Yeah.
too, let's do it. Let's do it.
Sure. Awesome. So yeah, go to do the.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So first of all, we want to go into a meditative state. If you have the ability now to close your eyes and to take 3 deep breaths with your nose and long exhales with your mouth. Then you want to center your consciousness in your heart. And then try to feel that you are one with everything around you in the space that you're in. You're one entity. There's no separation between you and the world around you. And then see how you and the building or the house that you're in are also one. And then see and feel that you and the entire planet is all one being. There's no separation. It's all one entity. And then go further and see that you are one with our entire solar system. And you're one with the entire universe. And actually go outside of the universe and go through layers of light and dark, light and dark, light and dark. Keep going higher until you feel that you're connected to a very bright layer of light. And then we keep ascending higher and we connect to a next layer of light that is golden, beautiful golden hues, relaxing, warming, and feels like home. And then we keep expanding and going to the next layer and feels like jello or thick water. And we keep going higher, keep expanding more, and then we connect and expand into the realm of the creator, the flawless universe, the tree of life, or the creator of all that is. This is where all the answers, all the inspiration, all the healing, all the directions, inspiration, everything comes from this plane. And as we're here, and as I'm going to read this passage for us, we can ask these questions personally. What is my own mission? What is my next level? What is my next level of growth, of development, of contributing? What is my next evolution in my life? We can even use our name. So I can say, for example, creator, what is the next stage for Michael? What is the next level for Michael's growth? We can use our own personal name, obviously. And also, as we're reading this text, we want to broadcast this energy, this light to the entire universe, to the entire human race as well, to all the humans, every single soul that is on this planet, to send them light, support, and guidance. And also to ask the special soul of Yuda, who is here with us also, to ask him for guidance, ask him for help to open our hearts. I'm going to read this text now. וכמה בני נשא לטאטא התפרנסון מחי, חיבורה דילך כד, התגלה לטאטאי בדרה בתראה בסוף יומי, ובגין וכרמתי דרום בארץ. פתח אליהו ואמר, כד נפיק שבתה, ויומה תבין בישראל אינו תחות, ממשלה תסמכמן ושבין למען ודחקים לישראל. כלה נפיק מן שמיה לגבי וימה חכי ירא בשת. ודע בראשית יכל לך כי סומפה מן שמיה ודע. בראשית ירא בשת. ו' לית לסמכמן כד קדוש ברוך הוא לתי למפרק לשכינתה ולישראל בינך וטבע מנך. ומשבעין יומין וממנן דלכון כל ערכו דעקוך לישראל בגלותה. דקין דקדם בגלו ישראל גיא לוית לקדוש ברוך הוא דחווה עתידה ישראל למחווה תחות שבבוטחו אחזי לית ולא שווין למען תחותו ידע אגרה דלכון אי חכי יוקירין לישראל בגלותה חדה הוא דיקתי וערך השם את בית חמצרי בגילה יוסף ויחו ממנן דילך לית עבדין לכון יקרא אלה עבדין בכון שבקינתה כלנה דאמרין לון כל יומה אלה אלוהי ובגין דא כלה נפיק לגאלה כל יומה מן שבעה ואמר ירד בשת יחה כה כוספה מן שכינתה ירא שמיים יחה לך כיסופה מקודשה ברוך הוא דייחו שמיים חדה הוא דיקטיב ואת תשמח השמיים ודע בראשית. And also I would like to do some downloads, we can, as we're in the space of the creator of this flawless universe in our minds, in a theta brainwave, we can also receive downloads or energy or consciousness to help us in this experience. So again, we want to experience that we're surrounded by this beautiful, flawless energy. And if you want to know how to be balanced, how to be open, how to be connected to the creator, how to be open with your heart, with your emotions, with everything that is going on inside of you, not to let our emotions control us, but to be able to understand them on a deeper level, where they're coming from and why we're having them, you can say yes. Also, we can, if you want to know how to be connected to the beauty of life, beauty of being, beauty of existence, beauty of nature, beauty of the universe, beauty of yourself, beauty of your soul, beauty of your consciousness, how to connect to the beauty of everything around you, how to be more open to it, to the beauty that exists in every single human being, every single soul, every single aspect and atom and everything around us, how to be connected to the beauty of everything. Also say yes. If you want to know that you are strong, that you're on the right path, that you're guided by the Creator, that you're connected to the Creator, to the universe at all times, always. You're connected to your guardian angels, to your ancestors, to all the positive forces. They're here for you, to support you and to guide you. If you want to know what it means and what it feels like, also say yes. And also we want to always be connected to the unconditional love of the Creator, the true essence of the Creator, the unconditional love for ourselves, unconditional love for the Creator, unconditional for everyone around us, to the whole universe, and to broadcast this energy of unconditional love to the whole world, to the whole universe. If you want to participate in that, also say yes. And we don't come down from this meditation. We stay in this mindset as long as we want to, as long as we can. Just rinse yourself with this beautiful energy, fill yourself up with it, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Yeah,
Thank you.
great.
It was, I'm going to bring Mickey back on. It's been a true gift. And I'm so grateful for an opportunity to just talk about it and just hear a higher perspective, bigger picture.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
There's so I'm going to read it for you, Michael, because I'm not sure if you see this, but Sarah tell me just wrote a comment. Michael Ocher, you are the answer to my deepest prayers these days. God bless you. Loud and clear path to connecting to the positive, the open heart, the light, the inner light of each of us. Cannot thank you enough. And if you can post that, where you were reading the ancient, the text, the ancient Zohar texts from, she would love that if you can say which
Sure.
lines that was when you can answer the questions.
Absolutely.
Mickey, how are you?
Am I unmuted? Hi. Very
Okay.
peaceful at the moment.
Thank you. I'm grateful for this. This is only the beginning. Continue. I'm looking forward for more. So Conscious Life Collective here. And if you guys have any questions, please leave comments, get in touch with us, get in touch directly with Michael. He has so much to share. Michael, I just volunteered you. I know you. But yes, what Michael is teaching in his classes are like, you have to experience it to know what we're talking about, but it's pure light. And Ellen is in Thailand right now, but she was born in Brazil. She's a beautiful, amazing person who were one of our presenters previous event, and she said, "Thank you so much. This was amazing," and she was so happy to connect. So we have people from all over the world. That's what I'm trying to say.
Beautiful. That's amazing. That's amazing. Each little spark, is like broadcasting this energy to wherever they are. So it's amazing.
Connecting the dots.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. And let's have this week be powerful, and let's enter it with an open heart. That's what I tell myself.
Beautiful. Amen. I'm with you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Miki. Thank you all very much for joining. Have an amazing week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.